Greetings, brothers! Welcome to the Blood Angels Commander channel.
What's up, guys? Good evening, good evening. Hey, Highland Phoenix, hey Tarzan, good evening, guys, how you doing? A little while since we streamed on a Thursday night. Let's see if we can get this camera in focus. Probably been at least a month. I've been working on this extra squad of Sanguinary Guard I bought. So I got a lot of Sanguinary Guard made with like Infernal Pistols and Power Fists. I don't run those anymore. I mean, I guess no one runs Sanguinary Guard with the Power Fists barely, right? Yo, good evening Danny. Good evening Rezio. Good evening Fuzz, how you guys doing? Good evening Steven. Toasty Devil, how you doing? You the man, John? Thank you. You the man, Toasty Devil. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed last night's battle. Like, holy crap, Eldar are strong, right? Like, had a chat last night after the game with Highland Phoenix in Discord, and he's like, the Estrella seems like a bit of a crutch. And I was like, yeah, it is a crutch. Like, bloody hell, that Eldar army, I can delete like 1,000 points in my army in a single turn without even breaking a sweat. Tough. Tough indeed. How's this looking? I need to move this on, but here we go. Alright. I don't think I'm doing any edge highlighting tonight, which is a plus. You guys know how much I hate edge highlighting. But yeah, I mean, I'm open to knowing what you guys would have done different. And like what lists you think would be good against that Eldar, because I don't know what would be good against it. Like, the second you get sort of anywhere in range, in terms of like getting range of their psychic or their shooting or even their melee guys, like they all do a horrendously good job of killing Space Marines. That's what it felt like. Stephen's riding high from yesterday's victory against Sisters. Well done, Stephen. Sisters are a tough army to beat right now. Good evening, Arkin. How you doing? Zio. A new face in chat. Zio. Hello, Zio. Hope I'm saying that right. Thank you for joining. If you guys enjoy tonight's stream as well, I do always appreciate it if you would either hit the like button, or if you're new here, consider subscribing. I have a new Blood Angels Tactics video coming out tomorrow, as always. That happens on a Friday. And Armulus show will go ahead as normal on Sunday, and probably be doing some hobby stream on Saturday. Yeah. And I know that some of you guys are fans of the 3 Grots. We just had a recentest episode about Chaos Space Marines go out like an hour ago. So if you haven't watched that yet, check it out in the next couple of days, it'd be appreciated. And I think the next episode we're going to do is we're going to cover the new leaks. I don't know if you guys saw today, but there was a bunch of leaks today about the squats or the leagues of Votann, or Votann, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. But I think our next Grots episode will cover the leaks about Votann, so I think that's what we'll dive into next week. But yeah, these are the extra 9 Sanguinary Guard that I bought, where, like last year, I bought these guys right before Armour of Contempt, and then after I bought them I really was like, oh man, I don't know if I needed to buy 9 more Sanguinary Guard. And then Armour of Contempt came out and was like, you know what, I actually did need 9 more. So, do we have a quick synopsis of last night's battle report, says Rizio. I mean, it was a super close game. The game was won by 2 points. There was a few moments on both sides that could have been like point swings. Like, I fluffed a bunch of attacks into an avatar, and then his avatar failed to kill like an OBSEC troop model. So it kind of, there was a couple of swings at the end of the game, so it really was anyone's game. But like, it was one of the closest games we've had on the channel, just a 2-point victory. Ridgecraft, thank you so much for becoming a member. Hello, good evening. It's always nice to get new members here in the channel. I'm actually at the highest membership I've ever had, which is crazy because I was away on holiday for like a week at the beginning of the month, and I did film it, like, I did have 4 videos, I think, maybe even 5 videos I'd like filmed, so like while I was away I still put out some videos, but I was convinced, I was like, this is going to totally tank my membership. I haven't really had a holiday since the channel started, right, because of COVID. Like, nobody went anywhere in 2020 and 2021, so it's the first time I was away, so I was convinced I was going to tank my membership. So thank you guys for sticking with me. I do really appreciate all the members, and it's lovely to see new members as well. Good evening, Drysu? Hello. Eldar are not really tough if you fire enough bolter shots at them that they die. Well, I mean, yeah, if you fire enough bolter shots at them, sure, but they're all going to be hiding behind obscuring terrain exo, right? And they're pretty fast. And my army doesn't really bring that much, like, if I was going to run the full melee army that I ran to the GT recently, or the RTT, sorry, I don't really have that much shooting. I mean, I've got, like, the bolters on the Sanguinary Guard. They're really the only shooting that I had that was, like, -1 AP. All my other shooting's, like, -0, right? Because, like, if you're just running incursors, then that's -0. Oh, I guess your assault intercessors are running -1, but they only have 18-inch range in one shot, so I mean, they're never really killing that much either. My army normally, if I run all melee, it doesn't feel like I have that much firepower. Even, I mean, I run a whirlwind typically if I go all melee, but the whirlwind doesn't really kill anything either since the change to indirect fire, right? I mean, it didn't kill much before, but it kills even less now. Good evening, Jacob, how you doing? Get a Gladiator Reaper. Do you know what? Highland Phoenix keeps telling me to get a Gladiator Reaper, Danny. I think maybe the Gladiator Reaper is the next thing on my to-do list. Most of the... I want to finish these 9 Sanguinary Guard, and I've got a squad of Death Company that are half painted with Thunder Hammers. And my Incursors, and they need a little bit of finishing off. And then last week I started working on the Storm Speeder. I need to do another stream on the Storm Speeder. I'll do one in the next couple of weeks, and we'll finish off the weapons, and we'll magnetize the weapons, because apparently it's really easy to magnetize them. So I'm going to do all that, then I think I am going to get a Gladiator Reaper, just because that's what people keep advising, and unless there's something new Primaris wise. But I mean, I really enjoyed playing the Stratus last night, so like, sometimes you should just play what you enjoy. You shouldn't go after the meta unless you... Like, I don't go to super majors. I've never been to a super major. I don't know if I'm going to one next year. Probably not next year. I'll probably go to a few GTs again. And I was talking to Miles about there's going to be a team tournament where I live. So we're thinking of doing the team tournament. Me, Miles, plus one other person. I'm not sure who. But yeah, because I don't go to like super majors. Maybe like I just play what I love, right? And I do actually love super heavy tanks. I love the one that I already have. I actually already have 2. I've got the Falchion and the Cerberus. So if I get an Astraeus, that would be my 3rd super heavy tank. They're fun models to make, and because after I said to Andrew today, because I said to him I quite enjoyed running the Astraeus, he was like, "Do you want to buy my one?" Because I guess he's kind of off Iron Hands at the moment, and I was like, do you know what, if I was going to buy an Astraeus, Andrew, I'd kind of want to buy my own one to... I'd kind of want to make it, right? Not just buy someone else's. Ridgecraft says, I'm not the greatest player, normally finish mid-table on GTs, but I've learned a lot since watching your channel. Well, that's nice to know. I usually finish in the top 3rd. I think in my last 3 events, I think I've finished like 5th and 3rd. So I'm usually finishing nearer the top than the bottom, but I've been trying to improve. I really like to get a win under my belt in the next year or so. They're cool. Are you talking about the Gladiator Reaper's a cool tank, Danny? We need evidence to test out the Reaper against the meta. I mean, I guess the Reaper would be good into Eldar. I'm not convinced it's good into Armor of Contempt units, but I mean, a lot of things are not good into Armor of Contempt units at the moment, right? Which is funny, because when I was playing Eldar last night, he's got so many, all his X6s become -4, and his models are actually really, really good into Armor of Contempt, which is kind of funny. I just think that Eldar list is really, really good. Could I get this dress for half price? I mean, probably, but I don't necessarily want to have to. I think I'd rather get my own one than just get someone's second-hand one. And obviously, Andrew's made it with weapon options. I'd probably want to magnetize it, etc., etc., etc. I think if you're buying like a £250 tank, you 100% want to magnetize it. I mean, like, I advise magnetizing a dreadnought when you spend like £80 on them. So, I think you definitely would want to magnetize a super heavy tank. And I was actually thinking for a minute, like, I was thinking, do you think that there would be a plastic version of the Stratus? But I don't think so, because the Stratus is a Primaris vehicle, so it wouldn't exist in Horus Heresy. So I don't think there'll be a plastic version of it anytime soon, so I guess like buying an Astraeus is probably quite safe. It could be annoying if you bought like a Horus Heresy tank, like the Forge World version, or the resin version rather, and then they released the plastic version right after, right? But I think with the Astraeus that's not going to happen. My brother finished a third at a GT last week with BA. I haven't seen any of Junior's lists for a little while, Danny. Is he still running double Eradicators, or is he running something else? Two Storm Speeders and a Reaper's fire support. I mean, I didn't buy 2 Storm Speeders, I bought 1, but maybe a Storm Speeder, a Reaper, and a Contemptor Dreadnought. I mean, I still like the Contemptor Dreadnoughts for their range. 45 inches and like occasional 3 or 4 mortal wounds is pretty nice. The more I think about a Reaper, the more I'll eventually get one. Yeah, I mean, I think and if recent data slates is anything to go by, the Reapers come down in points like 3 times in a row, right? Every data slate it just drops by 20 points. If they keep doing that, eventually at some point it's going to be really, really competitive. The thing is, it dropped by 20 points in the last data slate again, having dropped in the previous one by 20 points, and still no one's taking it. So like, if still no one is taking it, does it mean that it's going to drop again? Has anyone seen them getting played in tournaments? Hey Matt, thanks for the video, it really helped me get back into 40k, especially after that tier list series. You're most welcome, Matt. We're going to refresh the tier list at some point. Tony's been... No, sorry, Mark. Is Mark in the chat right now? No, Mark's not in the chat right now. But Mark's been banging on at me for like, I don't know, 3 months, 4 months, it's been a while. He's like, we should refresh the tier list videos, and I was like, yeah, I will. The second they drop that rumoured new Space Marine Codex. So, I mean, I guess we're still just waiting on that, and the second they drop a new Space Marine Codex, we'll redo the tier list videos. But they were a lot of fun to do, and they are, I think they're pretty valuable, so I'm glad people enjoyed them. We'll definitely do them again once there's, and I guess by then there might be some new units, because there has been some rumours that there is some more new Primaris stuff on the horizon. Tell me, did anyone manage to catch all the Votann reveals? Are anyone excited about the squats? Anyone going to be buying squats? What are people's thoughts on squats? Jim is trying out 3 or 4 land speeder tornadoes with assault cannons and multi-meltas because it sounds fun. I think you're better off just using regular land speeders, Jim. The assault cannon ones are they're a little bit overcosted for what you get. You end up paying like 25 points for the assault cannon only or something, or maybe it's 15 points, but they're quite a bit more expensive than just regular land speeders with multi-meltas. But I mean, I guess a couple of assault cannons wouldn't hurt. Assault cannons can kill some things, right? Baldermort, good evening. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a little while, Baldermort. Hope you're well. You guys don't know, Baldermort has quite a big channel. I think you got past over 100,000 subscribers now, so if you like lower videos, and I think he started a second channel on YouTube as well, so if you want to support Baldermort, after you finish watching me, check him out. What's the name of your new channel, Baldermort? Because I did see it. I might be guilty. I might not have subscribed to it. I'm sure you know the pain when you are a YouTube creator. You don't get as much time to watch as many YouTube videos as you want. But feel free to plug it, bro. Yeah, he's famous. 100,000 subscribers, I think, right? What a guy. That's the dream, 100,000 subscribers. Good evening, Kevin, how you doing? The squats are a bit of a disappointment, says Ridgecraft. Why are they disappointment, Ridge? What do you not like about them? Good evening, Gitley, how you doing? I'm doing very well tonight, thank you. It's Friday tomorrow as well, so who wouldn't be happy? I had the Monday off work because it's like a bank holiday, so it's been a short week for me at work, so that's been nice. And I think there's 3 more Wednesdays. I think I was counting it, or maybe it's 2 more Wednesdays. Yeah, 2 more Wednesdays before my next GT. So I've got to figure out my army list in the next 2 weeks, and I'm going to put Soul Warden on the captain. That was my big mistake last night. So he did 6 mortal wounds to my captain, and that killed him obviously because he only has 7 wounds. So I failed 1 save and the rest was mortals. So I'm going to put Soul Warden on the captain to protect him against mortals. And obviously my captain's always hanging out with my Sangre Guard anyway, so that in turn will give some of the Sangre Guard or some units around him some protection against mortals as well. I forgot that the support weapons on Eldar on wounds of 6 do mortals as well. I was like, oh, because d6 plus 2 damage per failed save at -4 strength 12 isn't enough, you need to do mortals as well. I was like, that Eldar list, man, it's so strong. I feel like another night I would have lost that game, that's crazy. Highland likes that the Scots are coming back. All we need is Arbitites. Arbitites, am I saying that right? I don't know what they are. What are the... What? Miles likes the look of the Votann. Andrew said he was going to buy... Get this, guys. You know how you always make fun of Andrew for having so many models? He said today that he was thinking he's going to buy 4 boxes of the squat starter box that they announced last night, because he thinks that the starter box is going to be a 500 point list. So he was like, I'm going to need 4 boxes for 2,000 points. Andrew's crazy. Baldermort just popped in to say thanks for the tips. I mauled the crap out of some other creators in a tiny tournament. 1k came 3rd of 10. Oh, congrats, dude. Well played. And you're more than welcome for the tips. Paul says, nice to have a short week. We get a 4-day weekend. If I have vacation for the rest of the next week, hope I can play a game of 40k or Blood Bowl. Do you know what? I have a copy of Blood Bowl from like way early. Like I want to say like I had it before 2nd edition Warhammer 40k, so like it must be like early 90s when it was in like a blue box. I think you got a human team. You maybe even got 2 human teams actually. I don't know what the second team you got was, but yeah, I think I even have like, it must be like 1st edition or 2nd edition Blood Bowl. Like the miniatures were like blue plastic for half the team and maybe like red plastic for the other half. Like it's an ancient copy. I was thinking of putting it on eBay at some point. I don't know if the old edition would be worth anything, but I haven't got back to it. I don't have time. Baldermort says Eldar are filthy. I played them. They're a bit too are a bit easy is the pronunciation. They are pretty filthy, it felt like. They just did so many mortal wounds. but they get so much 2 damage weapons, and the AP when they roll 6s, they seem to roll an maybe it's just Miles rolls an abnormally high number of 6s, but the amount of high AP shots you have to save from those like the Dire Avengers and that, it's just so difficult to play against. I hope if I go, well, I know Miles is going to the same 2 tournaments for me later this year, the RTT and the GT. I kind of hope I don't have to play him. I mean, at least I know I can beat him now, but like if we play each other, it's just going to be an absolute bloodbath. Bahamut, I kind of want. Oh, I kind of want one because it looks awesome, but should probably just focus on my Salamanders and Necrons. The Avatar Rector super heavy in both characters, tough rolls from them there. Yeah, I mean the Avatar is good. I didn't realise that profiling the Avatar doesn't change his weapon skill. He's a bit. I think Mortarian's like that as well, right? Like when you profile Mortarian, he still has weapon skill 2+, because if I'd known that, I could have probably like smited him at maximum range with Mephiston and not engaged till the following turn. Just like smited him and, you know, just did 2 turns of smites before I tried to engage him. That would have probably been a lot safer. But I figured because I was going to bracket him, I thought he'd be a little bit easier. Yeah, I mean, if you don't like squats, you don't have to like squats. The thing, because Andrew was asking me today, he was like, are you excited about squats? Are you like, do I care about them? Would I be getting them? Good evening, tiniest of travellers, all the way from Canada. Thanks for tuning in. The thing that I don't like about squats, and it's not even a problem with the squats. It's a problem with 9th edition in general. And my problem is that like Ultramarines don't have a codex, World Eaters don't have a codex, Raven Guard don't have a codex, Iron Hands don't have a codex, Imperial Guard don't have a codex. Like, how many factions actually still don't have their 9th edition codex, right? Like, if I can just name 5 of them off the top of my head like that, there's a few, right? And it's like they've released this whole army, which is fine, cool, you know, like people wanted squats back, well, they've got them. But like 9th edition came out 2.5 years ago at this point, I believe. Like it came out, I think it was July, so we're now in September. So yeah, not 2.5 years, but like 2 years, 2 months, 2 years, 3 months, something like that. So if we, you know, we like to complain that because Blood Angels we got our codex very early in the edition and it's not very strong. Well, imagine if you were sit here now, 2.5 years in, going like, oh, I'd really like a 9th edition codex. You know, like. Colin was joking with me the other day, saying one of the stratagems that the Ultramarines have lets them change like their tactical objectives, which was like a thing in 8th edition that hasn't even been a thing in 9th. So like, I'm happy the Scots are coming out. I'm not happy that they're coming out before everybody else got their codex, and I think that's what I don't particularly like about it. So. I mean, I think the Scots look fine. I think they'll be an interesting army to play against. I think more variation for the game is good. I just think it would be fairer if they could have given everybody else their codexes first. Salamanders don't have a codex yet. That's a good point. So that's 6. So is there any more that haven't had their codex? I mean, I guess that's a problem with having so many armies now, is it's going to take a while to release out all the codexes. But like, 2.5 years in would, like, look at my situation, right? I only play one army. So if I'd had to wait, like I said to Andrew, if I'd had to wait 2.5 years for my codex for the one army that I paint and play, I guess, I'd probably quit the game, or might not have quit because I'm doing the YouTube thing now. But if I wasn't doing the YouTube thing, maybe I would be really frustrated, maybe, and maybe if I was just a general hobbyist, I'd be like, well, I'm going to go play another game, because like 2.5 years is an awful long time to play with a 8th edition codex. So, I think they should prioritise what's there first and then do new armies after that. Do you think they'll do a hard reset with 10? Says Ridgecraft. I have no idea, because the problem what's happening, Ridges, at the moment is like there's so many rumors going out. Like you got these rumor accounts going out on Reddit, and you've got different people saying different things, and it seems like the rumors just change every few months. You know, like there was supposed to be a 2.0 Space Marine Codex, and that was the rumors like 6 months ago, and then all these other codexes have come, so it's like, is that still coming? I don't know. So I really have no idea what they'd be doing for 10th. I'm sure it'll be good. And like if you think about 9th, like 9th is probably the best rule set that we've had for 40k, right? Like 9th feels the best in terms of like if you want to play 40k competitively, I think 9th feels the best it's ever felt. So I've got a lot of praise for 9th, but I suppose at the same time, what I really don't like having to wait. Like I said, if I was one of these factions that has to wait this long for their book, I'd have found that insanely frustrating. I feel like to a point where, like, you know, almost maybe there's no coming back from it. Like, did everyone see the Need Assassin today? Need Assassin? Do you mean a new Assassin? 4 Space Marines still waiting for a supplement. Ultramarine. Oh, I missed White Scar, so that's 7 factions actually missing their codex or their supplement. GW released new books because they want you to buy and play multiple armies. I know they do, Danny, and maybe I'm the exception to the rule, but like I don't have the time. I mean, plus, like, it's, you know, if you want a big army to take to tournaments with like a lot of different options, that's a big investment in money these days. And I don't know where you live in the world, but in the UK, money isn't going nearly as far as it used to go. Good evening, Steve. How you doing? HOTE kind of trumps Salamander rules. What are HOTE? Something of the Emperor? I feel like the 9th edition rules are fine. I just think that the jank they've added via new codexes throughout the edition, it's like they need to fix up the codexes once they're all released. And they've started doing that a little. GW got me, I got 4 armies. You know, I used to have 4 armies, Danny, and then I traded 3 of them for more Space Marines. Hammer of the Emperor? Okay. I'm not familiar with Hammer of the Emperor. I'm not the hugest lore person. I've always been, I mean, I've read a few of the stories and stuff, and I've recently started the Siege of Terra books, but more of a just roll dice and kill shit Warhammer fan. I mean, I like my painting a lot, actually. So I guess, you know, if you talk about the 4 pillars of the hobby, which is like playing, painting, modelling, and lore, I guess I do 3. I don't really do too much on the lore side. Six auto wound for guard. Okay. Rezio says they got me. You get 7. Well, if I put all my miniature games together, I have a few armies. Elliot says, great channel, dude. You've helped me win tons at my local store. Elliot, thank you so much. It's really nice to hear. I'm glad that the channel has helped you out. That's literally why I started it, because I mean there was a decent Blood Angels community on Reddit, and you know, people would go on Reddit and post about like army lists and stuff like that. But I just wanted to sort of be a voice for like, hey, I think we can do a little bit more with Blood Angels. Like, there's a big community here, and maybe I can provide some advice, because at one point, not a million years before I started the channel, I was actually really struggling with Blood Angels. So I mean, it happens to the best of us. Where I was actually getting quite frustrated. I was losing a lot of games. I want to say that like I had a 40% win rate, maybe as low as 35% win rate. And it was after a long break out of the hobby as well, actually, because so I came back after maybe a break of like, wasn't quite 10 years, but it would have been like 6 or 7 years, and my win rate, because when I used to play, I used to win all the time, and then I came back after a long break and my win rate was terrible. And that's when I sort of started analysing everything, and then that's where I started making some of the videos. And to help myself, but also to help others. Sorry, I got some in my eye here, some more. Chain fists are the coolest Terminator weapons, but are they the best? I mean, chain fists are nice because they're not super expensive and they have the potential for D3 damage, right? Very strong into vehicles as well. I mean, I have a soft spot for Thunderhammers, but they lost a lot of their AP, right? Thunderhammers to me feel like you either need them in the Assault Doctrine or they're... I mean, they'll kill stuff, but it feels a bit... I guess it just feels weak now because it's only -2, right? And my Blood Angel's win rate is 69%, and I couldn't be happier with that, says Gitley. Well done, dude. I assume you're talking tournament games, right? That's a very solid win rate. Toasty says your advice is appreciated, especially the maths video. Yeah, I mean, getting to the point where you can do some of the maths in your head during the game is kind of where you need to get to, I think, if you want to be like a really top player. So that you never spend a stratagem when like the odds are against you unless you're just like fishing, I guess. I try and mix what I do though, because doing a lot of maths every week can be a little bit I mean, I don't mind making the maths videos, but yeah, I try not to do them every week, I guess. SWAT's got 3 AP Thunderhammers. I'm kicking my feet and rolling around on the floor. Yeah, Thunderhammers did indeed used to be -3, yeah. That was a change in 9th. Power Fists kept their -3, but they're obviously 1 less damage. Might be worth digging out the Storm Shield Vanguard veterans again. Robert just finished Primaris Ancient. What is everybody up to? Well, I mean, I'm up to Sangre Guard, which seems like bad deja vu, honestly, at this point. But at some point, I think after these 9, I'm never going to paint a Sangre Guard again. Because this time around I was smart enough to magnetize a bunch of the weapon arms. As you can see, this guy has his arms lying over here. I really dislike disassembling finished models. Even if it would save me time, it's just like when they're finished to me, they're finished. I hate having to change it. So yeah, over the last year or so, maybe even the last 2 years, I've started really leaning much more heavily into magnets, even on new models that maybe there's a clear-cut choice, like these are definitely the best weapons. I'll be like, do you know what, I'll just magnetize it anyway because it's always going to save you time. You heard that the whole SWAT Codex leaked. Says Robert, I did see that the entire Codex leaked, and I did download it as well, so I have a copy of it. I won't say where I got it or where I downloaded it from, but I have a copy of it, and on our next podcast episode, which we'd actually be filming next Thursday, because that's why I only do Thursday streams every second week, because like we film the podcast episode every second week. On next Thursday episode, or when we're filming next Thursday, that means that we're just going to dive into the leaks and we'll go through the whole codex. I think we'll even maybe aim to build like an 1,000 point, or maybe even build a 1,000 point squad list to start with. Good evening, Greg. How you doing? Working on a couple of first part assault squads. I need to make some assault squads as well, Greg. You could say you felt drawn to magnets, says Turkey. I don't know. Like, I mean, is that a really bad dad joke, Turkey? Are you a dad, or was it just a very bad joke? Normally bad jokes like that get called dad jokes, right? But no, I suppose you could say I was drawn to magnets. But yeah, no, they're well worth it. Absolutely well worth it. GW can't get a break. I think it's probably just a little bit of rules creep. We already know that the books that are getting released now are a good bit stronger than the books that were released at the very beginning of the edition. Which probably, like if Thunderhammers came out tomorrow, it'd probably be -3. But because they came out a year and a half ago, or 2 years ago, they're -2. Because it did seem like at the start of the edition they were trying to rein some things in, and then all of a sudden they just decided they're not going to rein anything in, because it did seem like a thing. I'm waiting for my clear red paint to dry so I can finish my Angels of Death inspired Terminators. The Angels of Death Terminators were very cool. I think it was on a Facebook group, somebody tried to do Angels of Death inspired Terminators. So once you're finished them, post them into the Discord room or something so we can all have a look at them. That was a pretty cool show, the Angels of Death, and it's coming back for a second series. I haven't subscribed for the second year of Warhammer Plus yet, but I might subscribe when Angels of Death Season 2 comes out, or I think it's a prequel, isn't it? It's not per se Season 2, right? Massively disappointed the Land Fortress is not articulated. The Land Fortress looks like... Tony posted a picture in one of our rooms. I'll see if I can share it with you guys at some point. It's like the Land Fortress looks like a kid's toy, I guess. Robert says, I'm not impressed with the Scots. There are no solar imagination with them, just half-melted Space Marines with NASA buggies. I don't know what you would have... What could they have done with them then, Robert? Like, what would you have liked to see that would have made them more, I guess, squat-like? I don't know if that's a word. I mean, back originally they were just basically dwarves, right? Like when they were about in 2nd edition. Warhammer Plus auto took my money. I was going to re-up anyway. I guess you gotta watch that when... I mean, it's so easy to get... With all these subscription services that are kicking around nowadays, it's very easy to lose track. I always put reminders on my phone for my subscriptions because I would otherwise lose track. There's a new beam rule for them that's going to be interesting. Basically, the Void Dragon shooting weapons with more awkward rules. I did see a little bit about that. As I say, I've got the whole codex. So, well, it's not the whole codex, is it? It's part of the codex that has the rules, like, you know, like pages 50 onward that like display the like army rules and the faction and you know their special rules. So we'll definitely cover all that hopefully next week on the Grots, and we'll maybe make a 1,000-point list or something like that. It should be pretty fun. And I'll have to decide what I'm buying, because it sounds like bunch of people want me to try the Gladiator Reaper, but like if the Stratus really is working for me, then oh, I don't know. I just like lists that have super heavy tanks in them. I think anyway. Isn't everything in this hobby about kids' toys? I mean, arguably yes, but I guess it's funny to compare some of the new model releases to like actual kids' toys. And I don't know if anyone's seen that new Buzz Lightyear movie, but you could almost paint the squats like Space Rangers, like the well, it's not called Buzz Lightyear, was it? It was just called Lightyear. The reason I've seen it is because my 2-year-old wanted to watch it. She loves Buzz Lightyear. But I could totally get on board with painting the Votann to look like the characters from that movie. They're essentially space dwarves to make them proper space dwarves. Power axes, artillery, scary defensive lines. Yeah, maybe they could have given them like actual like. But I mean, if let's say they did give them shields, you know, like the Iron Breakers from Warhammer Fantasy, for example, would that not have just felt too fantasy? Like, I mean, yeah, they're damned if they do, they're damned if they don't. If they just made them like Iron Breakers, for example, and they had like big circular shields that looked dwarfish, people would say like, oh well, it's just fantasy dwarves. So they had to change something, I guess, Robert, right? Because if that had happened, people would have said, oh, Games Workshop are lazy, they've just copied the fantasy, etc, etc, etc. It would be cool if someone painted the squats with tartan. Yeah, that's what I want to see. Someone paint the squats with tartan. I'll give you a picture of my tartan if you want it. I mean, Games Workshop must have some sort of problem going on as well, like the fact that these books are leaking in their entirety, like every single time, seems a bit crazy. Because, like, you know, the Nephilim points completely leaked recently, didn't they? And then it's like this now leaked, and it seems a bit random. The Scots vehicles look cool. Okay, so some people think they look cool. Some people really dislike it. Some people think it's cool. So yeah, I think it'd be the same. I think if they'd made them too much like the fantasy dwarves, people would have complained. Yeah, so they tried something different. Maybe it hasn't been perfect for everybody, but I think if they hadn't tried something different, people would have complained anyway. So very difficult for Games Workshop to know what to do there, I guess. We don't know if the kit... Do we know if the kits are monopose kits, or do we know if they're going to be like multi-part kits? They haven't said, have they? I haven't looked at the codex yet, I just downloaded it. Anyone that's looked at the codex then, are the rules for like multi-part stuff, or is it mostly like... I guess I'm asking, is there weapon options with the units, or is it very... Is it similar to the monopose stuff? Is it like, you know, these guys have swords and that's it sort of deal? GW tried to make Miniac an example for one of the leaks from the recent painting events. I did see that, Foz, because I saw Miniac's video about him getting kicked out of the event, but like with him it seemed like a genuine mistake, right? Like he just took a photo forgetting that, like, I do think there's some people that just like post on social media stuff without even, it's like they see, it's, give you an example, is like I have some friends that every time they go for dinner they need to send a photo of their dinner out on social media. Now I might send a picture of food out now and again, but like I don't do it on every dinner, right? But some people do. So I honestly think that maybe with like Miniac, he must paint so many models all the time, right? He's always painting models, that like taking photos and putting them on Instagram or whatever it is he does probably is like habit. It's like it's not, he doesn't even think about it, he just does it. So it sounded like what he did was a genuine mistake. I mean, I only know what he said, I don't know the full story, but like I could totally see that happening as a mistake. And like a picture of a model, was it, I actually don't know what he leaked, but like I think it was for like I think it was at the Horus Heresy reveal event, and I think they'd kind of alluded that there was going to be all these things anyway. So it wasn't like he was leaking rules or a book or anything like that. It was a model that he thought people had previously seen. So it must have been like enough. You know how sometimes like when Angron came out, there was a photo that had Angron in it, but like Angron wasn't the main thing, he was just hiding off in the background. So that's what I think happened with him. But I don't know. Most kits are monopose these days. Usually those big boxes are Ridgecraft. Like when you bought the Indomitus box set, like all the units that came in Indomitus, there was no weapon options. So usually the new big boxes are quite monopose. But I think with Squats, they're, as well as releasing the big boxes, they're probably going to release like some smaller kits as well. Because people are going to want to get up to like a full-fledged army pretty quickly, they're going to need to buy more than just like one of those like starter boxes, right? So that's why I was asking, like maybe the starter box is going to be quite monopose, and then the bigger kits or the other kits will be have a lot more customization. I don't know. Everyone has those dinner photo friends. It's fun, yeah. Everybody has dinner photo friends. That's funny, actually. Typically the dinner photo friends are the ones that don't do any cooking themselves, and it's like, you could cook that at home, right? But that's the way it works. When I'm out in an expensive place and get dinner put in front of me, I like to just eat it. But I mean, you want to take a photo of it first, I guess. Sure. I watch a bunch of YouTubers that like go to restaurants or go to places and review all their foods. Like, I used to watch Casey Neistat, I don't know if you guys know him, but he always used to do reviews of like plane travel and stuff, like the food that they get. I'd find that super awkward. I don't want to film in front of other people. Like, fair enough filming at an event or something, but like out in your daily life, nah, I don't want it. There's a new assassin? Someone mentioned this earlier. No, I didn't see there was a new assassin. Was this from last night's reveal? Did I miss this? No doubt Manny will have a full Votann list the week that they drop. We're gonna make on the podcast, we're definitely gonna have a Votann. We're gonna 3D craft a couple of Votann lists. That's what we're gonna do next week in the podcast. So if you've never watched our podcast, please come check it out. I mean, we call it a podcast, but really it's just the three of us chatting bullshit on a YouTube channel for like an hour and a half every couple of weeks. We have fun. On the Blood Angels commander, how about another 100 points for an assassin? Evistor in the list first, and the ability to swap in another. Do you know what? An assassin. Well, I had 100 points left, and I picked Bladeguard Veterans Highland. Obviously, you saw the game last night, so you knew that. But I I mean, I guess we could run an assassin. It does open up assassinate pick against me, but like, I feel like my characters are usually pretty durable. I mean, like, was last night a bit of an exception? You know, like, an avatar is going to kill most of your characters. Yes, the accountant assassin. Okay, tell me about this accountant assassin. Where do I find it? Is it on? Was it on the? I thought I looked at the Nova reveals. To be honest, I looked at them at my day job, so I had a very, very quick scan of them. I didn't sit and read them in any depth. I just thought it was the Votann and then some Slaves of Darkness stuff for would it be Age of Sigmar, or was it one of the Warcry games or something like that? I don't play any of the skirmish games, so I didn't really pay too much attention to it. And the Vanus assassin. Okay, and did they drop rules for this new assassin? You know, I did play Kill Team for a little while, and I did go to a Kill Team event, and I did enjoy Kill Team. But I mean, the advantage of Kill Team is that you're basically painting the same models that you're using in 40k anyway, so it's like no extra work. I guess I don't play if the skirmish game required me to like paint another army and stuff, then I don't want any distractions from my Blood Angels until they're damn near finished. I have a lot of work to get them to finish state. You'll DM me the rules on Discord. Alright, cool. Cool. Oh, well, maybe we could do a video on that, actually, if there is a new assassin. It's been a long time since the original release of Assassins, right? Like, I feel like they were in the game like 10, 12 years ago or something. When were the Assassins originally released? Does anyone remember? I feel like I had my Evisor since like 3rd edition, maybe. Maybe it was after that, but it feels like ages. I'm getting some hand cramps tonight. Third, was it? Blood Angels finished? Never? Yeah, I mean, probably never. I reckon if I wasn't doing YouTube videos, I would have finished them, or be very close to finishing them. 20 plus years. Oh, I got my new Assassins. Hold on, I'll show you. I was actually going to do a video on these because yeah, I get this. I guess this is what you're talking about. Your Umbral 6 Assassin from Warhammer Plus. I also get this guy, the Commemorative Inquisitor, from like the Warhammer Plus store anniversary. So I need to. A couple of years ago, I got the, you know, the Primaris captain that had the Power Fist and Plasma Pistol, like the rare, like I think he was a rare store anniversary model as well, or a rare Warhammer Plus model or something. I got him a couple of years ago. Operatives of the Clade Vanis use information as their weaponry, processing staggering amounts of battlefield data and detecting enemy troops the moment they arrive. Okay. Hey Ridgecraft, thank you so much for becoming a member again. I do really appreciate it, and thanks for hanging out tonight. Alright, Robert, let me check out some of these rules. Oh, he looks cool. Oh, but that's it. They didn't tell us anything else. It doesn't really look like he's got a weapon. Maybe a pistol? Some sort of servo spike? This is like R2-D2's servo spike thing, huh? Alright, it's cool, so I didn't miss anything too insane. Didn't miss the rules at least. So she's gonna hack the enemy's weapons. Oh, interesting. Well, that'll be interesting rule-wise, I guess. Who knows what that'll do. Oh well, I'm all for having a few more assassins. I think it's pretty expensive to pay the 2 CP though, right? To switch out the assassin pre-battle. That's the thing that puts me off. Like, I get it's quite versatile to be able to switch them out, but 2 CP seems like a stretch. Some people do it though, and some people do it to good success, so maybe it's just me complaining too much about CP costs. That would be funny if they went to shoot you with the railgun and you were able to hack it and make them shoot themselves. Yeah, I mean that sounds too powerful though. Unless it's something you can do like once per game. Oh, it's Horse Heresy, not 40k. Oh, interesting. Okay. But I mean, a lot of the stuff that is Horus Heresy is getting a 40k release, right? I mean, it makes sense if they can get you to buy it for... If they get players to buy it, it's like a double win for them, right? I think committing to Nevis our first choice for a 3d6 charge. The attack on kill with the double fight potential with 2 CP. On standby, Calixis or Calidus, second choice, then Vindicate. See, I think the Calixis. I was going to say Calidus. No, I think the Calixis is the best choice if you're going to commit to one, because she's an anti-psyker. She you can't use invulnerable saves against her, right? Or sorry, you can only use invulnerable saves against her. So like regular models, assuming she wounds them, she just kills them. And then it's the fact that she can only be hit on 6s, I think, is kind of huge. Like it just puts her survivability above all the other assassins. But yeah, I mean, I guess she's, again, for me it seems like I like to prioritize characters that will survive. I always feel like if you're alive, you can always do something, whereas if you die... So I guess that's why I always put emphasis on picking ones that survive, right? Also, we get new Ascended Primarchs. I mean, the Ascended Primarchs are for Horus Heresy. Seems a bit weird, Ascended Primarchs. Like, will Sanguinius get an Ascended model? I mean, Horus got one and he dies, right? Can't wait for the new Demon Prince for my Belcor army. Assume you can only get him this year in the EOS box. I mean, I don't love the fact that they put some of the models only in those big giant boxes. I think I've said that before on stream. Like, sometimes you just might not be in a position where you're ready to drop that amount of money, and it's a bit frustrating that they're only in the big boxes. I mean, I guess you can go to eBay afterwards, but I prefer that they didn't do those big... I'm fine with them doing the big boxes, I'm fine with them making the big boxes really good value for money. I just would like to see if you know, models are available for everybody, I guess. FOMO boxes are the worst. What does FOMO mean? For a limited time or something? You both said the exact same thing. Fear of missing out, right, I'm with you. Yeah, those boxes, I agree 100%. Yeah. I don't really want to say anything negative, but yeah, I'm not a fan of the boxes that's like, you have to buy this within a certain amount of time. It's the same, like, I support a football team. I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about football occasionally, and like, at one point in the last year, they were just like, right, we've got a new football strip. We've only got 500 of them, and they're only available this week. And I was like, well, that's brilliant, because I can't afford to buy it this week. So I missed out, even though I really wanted it, you know? I do have some savings I could take money out of, but like I said to my wife, like, I'm not going to take money out of my savings to buy a football top. Like, it's not... It's not that important that, you know, we take money out of savings for, so you just have to miss out. And I guess that's the way of the world now. Some things are going to be fear of missing out. I always find when I spray my guys gold, like when you're looking at them, you know, when I do my spraying outside, so when I'm looking at them outside, I always find that like they look fine, but then when you get inside and you get underneath the magnifying glass and you see them up close, there's always little bits of the gold that just look a little bit patchy. So if anyone wonders why I'm like painting gold over the top of gold, it's because these guys would have been sprayed gold. And sometimes like in these nooks and crannies, like under here and stuff, like definitely in there, like in where it would have been really difficult to spray them, the gold is definitely like tarnished black, which basically, because I spray gold over the top of black, so basically what it means is that like the gold spray didn't get in there very well, so there's like quite a bit of black bleeding through. This is probably another reason that it takes me forever to do my Sangre Guard. It would be cool if they made a sculpt of Sanguinius using the art from the Echoes of Eternity cover, both wings fully flared out and aggro just being massive. I mean, I guess it will be cool to get other poses of Sanguinius. I just want some sort of big bad character for Blood Angels for 9th edition. It doesn't necessarily need to be like a Primarch. I don't know if it would make much sense to try and bring a Primarch into 9th edition. For Blood Angels, probably not, but I would like to see us get something big and scary and strong. Will asks, what's been the most difficult army to face since Nephilim? I had a lot of problems into Chaos Knights. I think I did beat them a couple of times, but I had a lot of problems into them. I also think Drakari are really strong, Eldar are really strong, Sisters are really strong. I think I played Tau a couple of times in Nephilim as well, and they were difficult too, so like, although Blood Angels got Armor from Tempt and they've been feeling stronger, like, there's still a lot of lists that like, every time I play them I'm like, bloody hell, these things... It seems like a lot of things in the meta are just really good at killing 2-wound Marines. And I don't know if that's just the way that it's gone, but you know, I said to Andrew the other day, I was like, they gave Marines 2 wounds, but it doesn't fucking matter because 90% of guns do 2 damage, or 90% of weaponry does 2 damage. You could do 4 to 7 black Sangre Guard, since the guys who follow Astaroth are simultaneously given equipment of training and they count as Sangard in army documents. I mean, that's a cool idea. Will says, I'm starting to regret spraying my Sangre Guard off white. It's been a pain getting the gold in around the wings. Around the wings is always a bit of a pain with the Sangre Guard. I think I would spray them white or black to get going with, and then spray them gold afterwards. Did you spray them gold or did you paint the gold? Because I spray the gold, but I spray them black first. Does painting the gold over the black make much difference? I haven't painted my Sangre Guard yet and I wasn't sure if I needed the spray. I don't know, Jacob. I just didn't trust the gold spray on its own to just spray straight over the miniatures. I don't know why I didn't trust the gold spray. When I came back to the hobby, I used to get a lot of advice from the guy Kev. He's been on my channel a few times playing games. Kev's much more of like a painter and a modeler than he is an actual... Like, he has giant armies, but he doesn't really play competitively. If you wanted a competitive game, he would give you one, but that's not Kev's focus at all. And I must have asked him, like, how do you think I should do Sanguinary Guard? This is before I knew to check YouTube and stuff, and he was like, you should spray them black and then gold. And he must have done that for, like, an avatar or something, so I just took his word for it. And then because I started that way, I've always done it that way. So I've never actually just tried spraying Retributor Gold. That's what all my guys are, Retributor Gold. I've never tried just spraying it. The guard rules have just leaked. Oh, brilliant, Robert. Send them to me. I'll do a video on them as well. Blood Angels are in a great spot competitively, but you've got to be good or you can be punished. I mean, in some ways that's the same with Sisters, right? Sisters are in a pretty good spot competitively, but you have to be good and you have to trade well and you have to be smart or you can be punished. Exo7 says for Retributor Armor Spray it will also help the wash to have a layer of paint from the pot before applying it. How is it? For Retributor it will also help the wash. Oh right, when you wash over the top of Retributor Armor? Blood Angels has to outplay everybody. The only reason we're doing it care is our speed gives us a chance. Yeah, I mean, the speed helps a lot. The speed is our strongest thing usually. But yeah, Blood Angels are... Maybe I've been having more... I mean, I've been having a lot of hard games. I had a really hard game into Brett's Chaos Space Marine list as well. That was really strong too. John says always prime black first. I always paint metallic over black if I have a choice. Okay, seems loads of people do the black tactic. I know that I know 100% that Tony from the Grots channel does. No, Tony, Mark. Sorry, Mark does. He sprays Sanguinary Guard white first and then sprays the gold over. And he said it was absolutely fine. Because I was surprised when he said it. I was like, oh, you don't go black first. So maybe it's like an accepted thing, as people expect you to put black down before you put the gold. You know, the coat under does influence a little bit, so I guess if you put the black down you're going to get a darker finish on your gold. Whereas if you put down white you'd maybe get a slightly lighter one. But black works for me. I enjoy painting. I mean, I did my Vanguard Veterans gold, I did my Blade Guard Veterans gold. I enjoy painting the guys gold, and I did them all over black. I spray flat black then dry brush gold over. Oh, that would work too, I guess. So what sort of finish do you get if you dry brush gold over? Sort of like an edgy, highlighty sort of gold? Like, I take it you don't try and get like a full... Take it you're not trying to get like a full cloak coat of gold then, right? You're trying to get like a gold highlight? Or what exactly are you trying to achieve there with the dry brush? Explain it to me, I don't understand. Now that you've said that though, I want to try it. I actually was going to do my Plasma Inceptors in gold as well. They've been sat for like 3 years needing done. It's tragic that they're not done yet. Are Blood Angels and White Scars the fastest of every Marine faction? Yes. If you count infantry, I mean, like Ravenwing use land speeders. I suppose Raven Guard from Dark Angels can use land speeders as well. But in terms of jump infantry, I would say yes. White Scars might even be faster than us because they get a lot of like advance and charge shenanigans. Auspex Tactics has a video up, alright, on the leaks already. I was thinking about something to say there about fast armies, and now I've forgotten what I was going to say. Was it to do with White Scars, advance and charge? I was going to say, I don't know if some of the White Scars bikes might be able to advance and charge, and some of those bikes can move 14 plus auto advance 6, so arguably they're even faster. Maybe that's what I was going to say. Robert, thanks so much for watching tonight. Take care, nice to hear from you. Marcus, good evening. Marcus says, cellulitis guy here. I'm doing better, I still have my leg. Also appreciate your concern, however, I still need to wash my leg thoroughly every day and can't go into bodies of water. It's funny you say that, Marcus, because I got bit by an insect about a month ago now, and I've been on antibiotics for 3 weeks. I think my last day of antibiotics is tomorrow. I didn't get cellulitis, I got Lyme's disease, which is basically like a disease that you can get from insect bites. It can like spread all through your body and can give you like heart problems and joint problems, and so I don't think I was in any danger of losing my leg, but I was getting weird spiky pains like in my chest and my leg. And I had this thing called like a bullseye rash, where like the bite was all red, and then there's a patch that wasn't red, and then outside there was this other red bit. So that was fun. So I had that. Must have kicked in about 3-4 weeks ago. Bloody insects, huh? I was hiking in the Cairngorms, which is a mountain range in Scotland, and they always tell you, like, you know, stick to well-trodden paths so you're not walking through like long grass. And where we were, there was no path. Like, we got pretty far up this mountain and then the path just disappeared, so it was like, well, we were just walking through the grass. So something must have got me. And apparently 1 in 10 picks, or I think it was 1 in 10 carry this disease, so hopefully I'm cured. There's no cure for Lyme's disease, it's just you take antibiotics, they kill the bacteria, and maybe you're good. So, fun times. Yeah, sounds like a tick bite. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a tick bite. I never saw the tick, but when I went to the doctor, that's what they thought it was, and they gave me like an antibiotic. Apparently one of the side effects is like you get really sensitive to sunlight. I was like, have you seen how pale my skin is? Like, I literally couldn't be any more sensitive to sunlight as it is. I live in Scotland. We're like basically next. The only country north of us is Iceland, you know. But yeah, so I'm gonna be glad to finish in these antibiotics for sure. I mean, kicking the crap out of me, like, they just make you feel like a bit exhausted and stuff. Like my I've been doing this Death Watch shoulder pad for the Sanguinary Guard. Again, this was inspired by that Angels of Death series. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to do some sort of silver, because that's usually what they do with the Death Watch shoulder pads, right? And the bullseye is evidence of the tick. Yeah, considering this, the tick is like the size of a friggin'... It's like 1 millimeter big. It's scary, it can do so much damage to a human. Could you please show me the magnetized part of the Sanguinary Guard arm torso? I mean, all it is, just drill them out. I'm pretty sure those are 1 millimeter magnets. They might be 2 millimeters, but they're pretty small. I mean, if you look at the center of this bit, or the diameter, I guess it's about half the diameter, right? Why is it you paint things grey before metal instead of black? I don't know. I mean, I've always just used Dawnstone because I felt like it's a really Dawnstone to me just seems like it's a paint where other paints will go over it really easily without needing second coats. So rather than like painting 2 thin coats of, let's say, lead belcher to make these things metallic, I'll just paint one coat of Dawnstone and then 1 coat of lead belcher. I don't know, like I said, most of my paintings things came from me as a kid, long before there was YouTube videos and any of this shit. So I just did what seemed to work for me, and then I've always stuck with it, right? Do some people paint, like if you were going to paint lead belcher, would you paint black down first? I mean, I've just always done what I've always done, right? You're more than welcome, Gitley. It should be purged with heavy flavors. Yeah, no, my rash has gone down like insanely. It's like it's all but gone. So I'm really hoping that when I stop the antibiotics, it doesn't come back. I guess we'll find out. There are other antibiotics I can get, I think. But I guess, yeah, who knows. I always prep things won't be metallic by painting them black. I guess this is just the same, but I just use light grey. Do you find that you get perfect coverage over the black? Like 1 coat, you're good to go? Or do you have to do more than 1 coat? Sometimes. Yeah, I mean, I guess I've just always used grey, so I'm probably not going to swap now, but black works, you know? Any decent metallic paint should cover black. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, no, I would not. So if you were painting like a barrel of a Death Company gun that you sprayed the Death Company black, would you just go straight in and just paint it lead belcher? That'd have saved me some time if that was viable. Oh well, I always seem to do things the hard way in this hobby. Maybe when I finally start another army, I'll have all these tips and tricks to help me speed up my time. I like Celestra Grey. Celestra Grey is the grey I use on all my Sanguinary Guard wings, actually. But yeah, I use Dawnstone for all the other bits that I want to paint metallic. I use Dawnstone as well if I was doing like, I do Brass Scorpion sometimes for like power cables and stuff. So I would use Dawnstone before I would do like Brass Scorpion as well. If you had 5 Blade Guard veterans and an Impulsor, what character would be your 6th man in there, says Antonio. I mean, I kind of feel like it would be a Judas ER. But I mean, I guess it depends if you have another way to fight last in your list, or you feel like you need that, or you don't need it. I think the Judas ER is a pretty cool character to put an Impulsor though with BGVs. Some people might put a medic. Or an apothecary. I guess some people might put a captain. I think I like the Judas ER. Makes them much more scary to charge. I was a spitting image of the Great Angel in my antibiotics. It wouldn't let me go in the sun. Yeah, the sun has been bothering me as well for like these last 3 weeks, which is annoying. We don't get much summer in Scotland, so not having to be on antibiotics for 3 weeks that make you sensitive to the sun has been a downer. What's your takeaway from the rematch against the Eldar? Eldar are strong as all hell. I was going to say, what else can I take away? Yeah, they're generally really strong. They're really good at killing Marines. They have a lot of psychic stuff that can generally just add a lot of strength. I mean, having a deny against Eldar is really useful as well. But I don't know, like, takeaway in terms of like, oh, I know how to beat this list if I played it again. I don't think I have that takeaway. Like, I beat it, but like, I feel like part of the victory was luck, you know, like he killed both my characters. I paid a CP near the end of the game to try and give Mephiston an extra hit on the Avatar because I was desperately trying to kill the Avatar. Now, if I hadn't paid the CP to give Mephiston an extra hit, I'd have had 1 CP left, so I would have Angel sacrificed the Tech Marine to keep Mephiston alive. If I'd done that, he would have then been able to Psychic Interrogate Mephiston for 3 points. I only won the game by 2 points, so actually him killing both my characters maybe stopped him winning the game. So, like, what's my thought on Eldar? Like, I mean, watch the game. I asked in Discord last night, actually, after the game. I was like, guys, so what lists or what do you think is going to be really, like, what would you take that's going to do really well against this list? And I mean, there's a few suggestions, but it doesn't feel like anyone really knows exactly, like, hey, you're going to fight this Eldar army, like, what's our lists look like? Like, how can we beat it really easily? I don't think you can beat it easily. If he gets charges on you, bear in mind he's got 3 ways of making you fight last. There's just a lot of hurt, and we don't really have that many great tools at preventing it, right? Does the tournament list still run Blade Guard? They seem so underwhelming nowadays. I guess they might take them from Transhuman, but it doesn't seem worth it. So I don't run them in my tournament list anymore. I haven't seen many tournament players still run them. That doesn't mean to say they're a terrible unit, right? Like, they do get a solid amount of attacks. A squad of Blade Guard veterans gets more attacks man for man than a squad of Sanguinary Guard. So like, and they have basically the same weapons, right? They both, the Sanguinary Guard have Incarnate swords, the Blade Guard veterans have Mastercrafted power swords. They're identical, they're both strength 5, they're both -3, so like, any Blood Angels melee unit that gets more attacks with the same weapons as Sanguinary Guard is going to be a good squad, right? But you're right, we don't see Blade Guard veterans. But then a 4-up invulnerable save isn't to be sniffed at either, right? So, although we aren't seeing Blade Guard veterans, I don't think they're a horrible unit. I think they're an amazing unit either, but I don't think they're horrible. Have you looked at the tournament winning Alpha Strike Ynnari list? I've been playing around with it and it seems really difficult to play against. Any chance of getting a video for it? Which tournament winning list? Like where did you see it? Which tournament has it won? Etc. etc. I have only played a couple of games against Ynnari this edition. I was going to say this season, but no, this edition. I believe that I did beat them, but yeah, they're one of those ones where like the Void Weavers, is that the name of them? Like they already got nerfed, the Void Weavers, but like the damage output that those things have and the damage output the list can do can finish you off very, very quickly, it felt like. He has 2 or 3 good psychic phases and you're screwed. Yeah, it's a very, very accurate point. I'm not sure I love how much damage can be put out in the psychic phase these days, honestly. When you've got some armies that do really well in like another phase and then can do 15 mortal wounds in the psychic phase, like it's obnoxiously difficult to beat if you're just, especially Marines. Like Marines are not coped for that at all. I played a tournament game against Thousand Sons and Demons of Nurgle before, and the amount of mortal wound, like I had Soul Warden, and I think I had Soul Warden in that list, and like it's the only thing that kept me in the game is hacking a bunch of my guys around my character with Soul Warden and getting to save the mortals on a 5-up. Centurions have a lot of DACA, they do. We have seen a few Blood Angels players make Centurions work, right? Big squads of them, 5-mans. I have 3 Centurions with Flamers and Hurricane Bolters, but I never went all in and got 5 of them. We're gonna get someone that went 5 of them on the channel though. And we'll get someone that like did well at a tournament on the channel that did 5 Centurions, and then we'll get a review on them of just exactly how you play them and why you play them and are they worth it, etc, etc. That'll happen. Like I'm gonna aim to get that video out like next week probably. Issues of speed for a bunch of stuff. Yeah, I mean that's why I haven't jumped on the Centurion bandwagon, because I've played them before and I kind of hate units that have a 5-inch move. Doesn't seem on paper 5 inches against 6 inches doesn't seem that bad, but like when you're in the heat of a battle and it's like, well, you're just going to fail a charge because you're 1 extra inch away, it can be kind of difficult. Alright, I'm going to paint this bit inside this backpack and I'm going to call it for tonight. I do have a tactics video that I just need to work on for like 10 minutes after this video, so that'll come out tomorrow. Probably going to continue painting Sanguinary Guard Saturday night. And then Armulus show on Sunday. As always, I think this week we're going to play Andrew's Sisters. Next Wednesday, that would be. And I think I'm going to run the Straeus again. I'm going to put Soul Warden on the Captain, so we have a little protection against mortal wounds. And yeah, run the Straeus. And then, assuming that... Because I think I've lost to the Sisters twice now, right? So assuming that I lose by less points, I don't think either of the victories was... Sorry, either of the losses was hugely negative. But it was 2 losses nonetheless. So I think assuming that we can at least sort of keep up with them in terms of scoring, then I'll take the Straeus to this tournament that I've got. It's a RTT. I've got a GT later in the year. I'm undecided for my list for that, but I've been wanting to run a super heavy tank at a tournament for a while. One, to see if I can win the tournament. I mean, Blood Angels 6 months ago would have never been running 5 Assault Centurions, and then they ran, a bunch of top players ran them and did really well, so top players are allowed to run 5 Assault Centurions, I should be allowed to run a super heavy tank. They're a thing I love. Art of War kind of explained how all armies are designed to have a high strength damage 2+, so Space Marines hurting. Yeah, I mean, Space Marines are hurting. They gave us a second wound, but it doesn't really matter. That's how I feel about it anyway. You know, we've got the second wound, but most things hit us with 2 damage anyway, so does the second wound really help? And also, like, our troops are quite expensive, you know, like 20 points per model basically. And you look at some of the other troop costs in the current edition, and or just general unit costs, and you think, like, our troops are generally very expensive for what you get. You know, they don't do very much killing at all. Yes, they have OBSEC, I guess, but they're a unit that really has very small killing power, or very low killing power, I feel like. You don't want them to be less points, you just want them to be stronger, says Reziel. I mean, I could get on board with that, Rez. I think Tactical Marines should be cheaper, but I've been saying that for probably like 2 years at this point. I mean, if someone was going to make Tactical Marines cheaper, it would have happened already, I feel like. I've said it enough times, right? Okay. I guess that will have to do there. I hope you guys all have a nice night. Thank you so much for watching. It was nice to hang out. It's always a pleasure streaming to you guys. I wish I could do it more often, honestly. And I feel a bit sad that I missed out so many streams over the August, but holidays are done. We should be back to a much more regular schedule. So Saturday night should be streaming, and then 2 weeks today should be streaming. And also remember, I think 2 weeks today we'll also have the Grots episode where we go over I guess we'll go over all the leaks for the Votann. So that'll be what we're pre-recording next week. Okay, gang, catch you later. Yeah, everybody does deserve a holiday. Yeah, thanks for understanding. And thank you to all the new members and also the people that have gifted subs. There's a few people in the community that have gifted subs recently. Highland Phoenix, you are one of them. Oh, appreciate Stephen. Thank you so much for subscribing. You're one of the people that's gifted subs. The gifted subs, they're so appreciated as well. So thank you, because that lets people that weren't sure about our community sort of join and check it out. And I guess a few of them from the last round of gifted subs has stayed as well. So really do appreciate the people that have bought gifted subs. If you're ever thinking of donating to the channel, then I don't know why you. Gifted subs just seems like a much better way, right? Because somebody else gets a benefit as well. Like I don't see any negativity to it. So, alright. Thanks again, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll be back a couple of times over the next few days. Hopefully catch some of you then. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed it. If you're new, appreciate a subscribe if you want to see more Blood Angel stuff. And if not, no worries. I'll catch you in a couple of days. Good night. Wrong button.